Hello everyone, my name is Putri Sri Santi and I am from Ganesha University of Education, English Language Education Department, and I am from 6A class. In this video, I will explain about news item, and the material is for 12th grade senior high school, and I made this video in order to fulfill my course, my final project, and the name of the course is material development. So in this video I will share about the material about news item. But before we learn, let's take your book, your pencil or pen, in order to, if there is an important thing or there is a problem or that a part that you don't know, you can take note and you can search it later on, or you can ask a question in a comment section in my video. So without any further ado, we learn together. And now I have an animation video, and the video is about news item text. So let us watch it together and please stay focused. So here is the video. Okay, so that's all about the video. It tells us about the definition of news item, the purposes, the social functions, the generic structure of news item, and the language features in news item. So those are the parts of news item. I hope you understand about the video, and let us discuss something that relevant with news item to make you understand about the news item. So I have a question. Let us discuss about the current issues in Indonesia and in around the world. What is the hot issue now in Indonesia or in around the world? In my opinion, I think the hot issue now is coronavirus, right? Do you know about coronavirus? I think you already know about the coronavirus, but to make it clear, here I have a video for you. It talks about coronavirus, and let us watch it together. An animation video about coronavirus. Happy watching! So that's an animation video about coronavirus. By the way, do you understand about the video? I think you don't really understand about the video because the video just shows about an animation, or there is no explanation in it. So how to make people understand about the video? So it is our task today. So we will make a news item tags in order to make people understand about the coronavirus. So the news item theme is coronavirus. So now I have an example of news item, and let us read it together. So the example is about coronavirus, and there is also the generic structure of coronavirus. Okay, now let us together about the example of news item. I provide you the example of news item, and the title is coronavirus. But before that, don't forget that news item has 3 generic structure. The first one is main events or newsworthy events. The The second one is elaboration or background events. The third is resources of information. The first one, main events or newsworthy events. We need to say the main events. Let us read together. The first case of novel coronavirus was reported in Wuhan, China in December 2019. Early cases were believed to be linked to a live animal market in Wuhan and have since been spreading from person to person. Shortly after, the cases of the virus began to appear outside of China. And then we move to the elaboration and background events. On January 20, 2020, the first case of novel coronavirus was reported in the United States. On January 30th, the World Health Organization declared the outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses named for their shape, protruding spikes that look like a crown or corona. SARS and MERS are a part of the coronavirus family as well as viruses that cause the common cold. The 2019 novel coronavirus was officially named COVID-19 on February 11 by the World Health Organization. Suspected community spread was first reported in the United States on February 26, with no known links to people who have traveled to Wuhan, China. And World Health Organization said on February 27, the COVID-19 has pandemic potential. Here is the elaboration again. So COVID-19 can cause flu-like symptoms that range from mild to severe, including cough, fever, and shortness of breath. Since the infection can include symptoms similar to pneumonia, influenza, and the common cold, only a diagnostic test can confirm whether or not an individual is positive for the virus. Thousands of people have died around the world. The first deaths in the United States occurred on February 26, 2020. The trials underway for treatments, but vaccines are still in the development phases and likely more than a year away. CDC officials say that Americans should prepare for major disruptions to their daily routines. Recommendation to reduce the risks of infections include regular hand washing, covering mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, avoiding close contact with anyone showing signs of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing, avoiding touching your face, and disinfecting frequently touched objects and surfaces using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water aren't available. If you are sick, stay home, and if you are experiencing severe symptoms or worried that you have contracted the virus, call your doctor before going in. And don't forget to take or put the resource, and the resource of this information or of this news is from ABC News YouTube's channel. So that's the example of news item. Okay, that's the example of news item, and the title is coronavirus. But I think the text is too long, and I have infographic that summarize the text. So here is the infographic. So because the text is too long, so I summarize the text in form of infographic. So the text is about coronavirus. So the title of the infographic is Coronavirus. In this infographic, I mentioned the sources. The source is from ABC News YouTube's channel, and there is where and when it happens. it is in Wuhan, China in December 2019, and there is a symptom. It is cough, fever, and shortness of breath. And how to reduce the risks? So it can be by do regular hand washing, covering mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, avoiding close contact with anyone showing signs of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing, and avoiding touching your face. So this is a summary from the text. So by making this infographic, it can guide you to make a news item. So to make a news item, we need to determine the news that we would to state. Like in this case, we use coronavirus as the theme of the news, and then we can search the information about coronavirus, and don't forget to mention the source. And then you need to use 5W plus 1H as the guiding to make the background, like who is in the news that you mentioned, where it happened, when it happens, and why, and how it happens. And the last is the important things. You need to put the source in order to make your text valid. So that's all about the infographic. So that's the infographic of coronavirus. I think you already understand about news item because I provide you so many examples and we do an exercise. But let's recall our understanding about news item. Here I have a PPT or PowerPoint about our lessons today. So here are the PPT. Okay, now let us recall again our understanding about a news item that we already talked before. So here is the definition of news item. News item is a text which informs readers about events of the day. The events are considered newsworthy or important. And the generic structure of news item, there are three. The first one is main events or newsworthy events. It recounts the event in summary form. And number two, elaboration or background events. They elaborate what happened, to whom, in what circumstance. And the third is resources of information. It contains comments by participants in, witnesses to, and authorities expert on the event. Social function is to inform the readers about newsworthy or important events of the day, and two, to present information the readers about newsworthy or important events of the day. Language feature. The first one is using saying verbs like she said, informed, told, and reported. Number two, sometimes at the beginning of news, the scenes is mentioned, Indonesia, China, Kuala Lumpur, and etc. And the third, using past tense in explaining news event. However, if it is a fact that until now still happen or still in the form of fact, then can use simple present tense. And the fourth or the last is using adverbs like time, place, and manner. So that's all our lesson today. So that's all about our lesson today. Hope you get some new knowledge from the video and from the explanation, and you can practice it now about how to make news item. And if you have any questions about today's lesson, don't hesitate to put your comment in the comment sections. I'm sorry if I made mistakes, and see you in another video, and goodbye.